All right, Shalom. I'm going to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to my apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the brothers doing this work in truth and in sincerity, preaching this word throughout the four corners, man. Shalom to you, brothers. The name of this lesson is going to be keep the commandments and live forever, because we disobey to keep commandments, you know. And one thing that we know is for sure, it's a lot. Man, Satan fucking with my live screen, man. But like I was saying, man, through the spirit, I'm gonna continue on what I was saying. If Satan don't continue to fuck up my live stream, um, I was gonna talk about the law and how it is life. Um, I believe it's a scripture that says exactly that. Just give me a second. This is I'm just going to get the precepts that I have down. First John chapter 3, verse 4, I believe. Yeah, this is whoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for law is the transgression. I mean, it's like for sin is the transgression of the law. Because when we went off, we sinned before Yahweh. Um, that made us experience the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and some of the curses that are in the book of Leviticus. Because the law is life, and that is what prolongs our days on this earth, keeping the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Bear with me 1 second. Got a couple of precepts I want to get. Sirach, or actually, I'm going to get this John first. John 5 and 24. That's a good dagger right there. This is John chapter 5, verse 24. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death to life. Because right now we are in a state of death. You know, we are in a state of death. Our people are in a state of death. You know, our people are diabetics, uh, drug addicts, drug dealers. They are in a dead state of mind because they're not connected spiritually with their power source, man. They're not connected to Yahweh Bashem Shah. That's why they're dead, and they don't have no knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Shah. That's another reason why they're dead. You know. This is verse 25. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live. So the men that are hearing the voice of Yahweh Shah, which is his word, which is the voice is the word. That's how that is what you hear. That's when they hear the voice. They hear the word of Yahweh Shah, because he is the word. So when they hear this word, they hearing Yahweh Shah. So right now, those men who are hearing the Yahweh Shah by way of the word, because he comes in the volume of the book, they are hearing Yahweh Shah. They're gonna live, man. For a long period of time. Forever and more, man. Because everlasting life. Who can comprehend that, man? I got a dagger scripture that goes on to that. Sirach 18 and 10. Because the men are gonna reign with Yahweh Shah 1,000 years, but compared to eternity, 1,000 years ain't shit, man. This is Sirach chapter 18 verse 10. As as a drop of water unto the sea, and a gravel stone in comparison of the sand, so are all so are 1,000 years to the days of eternity. So if you take a little drop of water, a little drop, a little drop of water, and drop it into the ocean, like a Pacific Ocean, just think about how big that ocean is, man. That's the comparison of 1,000 years. This little drop of water, 1,000 years, until you drop it into a sea. You know how many drops of water that is? That could be, man. Who knows? You know, that is a lot. 1,000 years compared to the days of eternity, that's a lot, man. 1,000 years to us is a long time, man. A long time. But let me give this other wait. Oh, thought I seen something. This is Sirach 19 and 18. The fear of Yahweh is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtaineth his love. So you gotta fear the Lord first, to be accepted of him, man. And he will give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and you will abide in his love. Verse 19, the knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. Boom. Y'all felt that bomb I just dropped on y'all, man? Through the spirit? Let me read that. Sirach 19 and 19. The knowledge of the commandments. What are the commandments? Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, so on, so on and so forth. The knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life. So this is how you live. The Lord gave us the instructions. Okay, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. If you want to live for a long time, because Yahweh is the one that could kill you. So he's also the one that can prolong your days. So it's only right that if you obey his commandments that he laid out for us, he will prolong your days. If you don't, he will shorten your days, and he will kill you expediently, man. So the knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. That scripture right there is heavy. I gotta read it again. This is Sirach 19 and 19. The knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the doctrine of life, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. So those men who accept it, don't, and follow the Lord's commandments, those men will receive the fruit of immortality, man. All right, I got that. Okay, I got that. Sirach 11 and 14. Because all the laws that the Lord gave us it's to help the earth continue to flow, how it's supposed to, to continue to produce. See, if you don't conduct and treat the earth right, it's not going to grow the proper, you're not going to get the proper nutrients you need to when you eat the food. So you got to treat the earth right, so it can yield its fruit, so you can be able to eat the fruit and it cannot be defiled, because everything in this kingdom right now is defiled because the earth is not being treated right. You have the land Sabbath. That is something that's very important. The Lord gave us the instructions on how to conduct the earth, how to control the earth, how to keep the earth at its highest form of production, if you will, because it could produce bigger fruits. It used to take two men to carry a cluster of grapes, and now in this time you can carry a cluster of grapes with your hand, man. Come on, look how much that has been reduced to. The earth is not at its climax, if you will. It's not at its full strength because the earth is fading away. Sirach, this is Isaiah 24 and 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. Why? Because this devil is ruling. And he not keeping the land Sabbath. He is polluting the air, polluting the fucking earth, constantly sucking the oil and all these stuff out of the earth. All these materials out of the earth, man. You know, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. And that's what's happening now. People are upset. You know, people are worried about social media. You know, they're not involved in shit, man. You know, just a bunch of dummies, man. The earth has been reduced to a bunch of people on the earth have been reduced to a bunch of dummies, man. You know, bunch of consuming dummies. And the earth is paying for it. You know, you have this devil putting semen every goddamn where. You know, you have this devil spraying chemicals in the air, you know, polluting the earth, creating his own fruits, not fruits, but creating his own food without using the earth's beautiful greenery, man. You know, this beautiful, look, if you just really look at the earth, man, it's beautiful. You know, it's green and all beautiful, man. But this devil is turning it fucking like a desert, man. Um, This is Sirach 11 and 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. So the Lord is the one that gives these things. Poverty, prosperity, adversity. He has somebody come up against you. Life and death. You know, if you follow the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, you will live. If you disobey, you will die. Plain and simple. Poverty and riches. If you follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, you will have riches. You know, because wisdom is riches. Come of the Lord. Yeah, verse 15. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Most High. Love and the way of good works are from Him. So, how we understand the law by Yahweh. I'm not saying keep the law perfect. I'm not saying that. Nobody's saying that because we can't do this in this flesh, man. You know, because the Lord has a will, and He's gonna, you know, sooner or later He's gonna put His law, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts. You know, so we ain't got to worry about going off ever again, man. Sirach 15 and 17. This is Sirach 15 and 17. Yeah. For the wisdom of Yahweh is great, and He is mighty in power, and beholdeth all. Wait, that's the wrong verse. 15 and 17. Sirach 15 and 17. Yeah. This is Sirach 15 and 17. Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall he be given. So if you like life, if you love to live and to have tons of women, you know, riches, it was something else I was gonna say, riches and, you know, power on the earth, you know, that then you will well, it all depends on who the Lord, you know, selected in the beginning, man. You know. But the scripture says, man, whatsoever a man liketh, that will he be given. You know. So those men who like life, they will be given that. And those men that like death, they will be given that. I don't see how you could love death, man. That shit is just, you want to live forever, man. We was created to be immortal, man. But through envy of the devil, man, that's why we die. Who likes to die, man? Want to live forever, man. And ever and ever and ever. Just wake up and just chill all day, every day, man. Not have to do no work, have slaves. Sirach 33 and 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So right now you have, in this day and time, you have men that come up against life. They coming up against life, which is in Yahweh Shah Mashiach. That's why they don't like life. These niggas love to die. You know? They love that shit. I don't see how you can love death. You know? Like the scripture says, they have made a covenant with death. This is Isaiah 28 and 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. That's what our people have done. They have made lies their refuge, man. You know, and have hid under falsehood. You know, this is back to Sirach. And you people have made a covenant with death, man. You don't want to live, man. You don't want to live forever, have money, riches, power, women, all these things that Yahweh Shai is able to give you, man. Hey, let the will of the Lord be done. But this is verse 15. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. So you have life against death, you know, evil against good, godly against ungodly, righteous against the unrighteous. That's what it is. That's what it's all about, man. That's all it is. That's what, when it all comes down, boils down to it, that's what it comes to. Righteousness against unrighteousness. Life against death. Ungodly versus the godly. You know, that's what it all comes down to. All right, that's that precept is done. Sirach 37 and 18. This is Sirach 37 and 18. Four manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually. So, like the scripture says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18 and 21. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So if you love death, you're going to eat the fruit thereof. You know, because of your mouth, man. You know, that's something that's very important. You know, your mouth, taming the tongue. That's why you have to tame your tongue. You got to know when to shut up. You know how to control your mouth, man. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. If you love life, you will be quiet, and keep your mouth when you go to the house of the Lord. If you love death, you will run your mouth like a fucking bitch, man, and be put to death, man. And you're gonna eat the fruit of your doings, man. All right, that's it on that. Baruch 4:1. Hey, this Baruch 4:1 is a clear cut to a lot of you so-called Christians out there. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endured forever. So the law is not done away with. Why would the Lord create a law and then just exit out like that? You know, because it's the law of life. So if the law is X'd out and the law is no more, then how the fuck we gonna live? Who gonna live? How the fuck we gonna live if there's no law of life? That means is everybody just gonna die as soon as they get born or whatever, some type of shit. It doesn't make any fucking sense. If the law is done away with, how the fuck are we gonna live? How is Jake gonna live? Because Jacob is the one that has the law, and Jacob is supposed to keep the law. So if the law is done away with, then that means Jake is gone, basically. Because if the law is done away with, how the hell is Jake gonna be able to stay on the earth if you're not keeping the law? Don't make no damn sense, man. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. How is the earth gonna abide forever if the law is not if the law is done away with? What kind of shit is that? That doesn't make any fucking sense. How are we gonna know how to govern the earth and keep it going on forever if the law does not consist? Because the Lord gave us the law to keep these things in order and keep it function properly. So how the fuck we gonna have the earth functioning properly? We might as well stay here in America if the law is fucking done away with. That kind of shit is that, man. It doesn't make no fucking sense. If you keep the law, you're gonna come to life. If you don't, you're gonna die, man. Point blank, period. Proverbs 11 and 1. A false balance is abomination unto Yahweh, but a just weight is a delight. So the Lord has a balance to everything. Life against death. Ungodly versus ungodly. I mean, ungodly versus godly. Because the scripture says, unless two men agree, wait, should they walk together? Two men couldn't walk together unless they agree. So ungodly person cannot walk with a godly person unless they agree, man. You know, one set against another. The works of Yahweh are two and two. One set against another. I believe that's all the precepts that I had. Yep. Yep. So that's all the precepts that I had jotted down, containing to this lesson of life and death. So with that, man, I'm gonna give all praises on the glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by Shem Kakodash, that will honor to my apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Kwam Yasha Allah, Shalom to the elect, death to America. Shalom.